refer to a cell in Excel, you can either use an absolute or a relative cell reference. When you choose to use an absolute or fixed cell reference, the cell reference is fixed and does not change when your formula is copied or filled to another cell. If you use a relative cell reference, then the cell reference is variable and the row or column changes when the formula is copied to another cell. By default, Excel makes the cell reference variable, so relative, but you can also make it absolute by adding a $sign next to your column or row. You can also do this by pressing the F4 key in Excel. So by standing on your cell reference and pressing F4, if you add a $sign next to the row and column of a cell reference, then both the row and column are fixed, so both of them are absolute. If you only add a $sign next to the column of your cell reference, then only the column is fixed and the row is not fixed, so the row is variable or relative. If you only add the $sign next to the row, then the row is fixed and the column is variable. So in case the column is fixed and the row is variable, only the cell row will change when you copy the cell to another row, but the column will not change as the column is fixed. In case your row is fixed and your column is variable, then your row will not change when you copy the cell to another row, but your column will change if you copy the cell to another column. I now go back to my sales order sheet in Excel, and I want to add a column discounted unit price and discounted sales amount in my sales order sheet based on the discount rate in cell B36. So I want B36 to be a fixed cell reference, so a absolute cell reference. I now add my two columns, discounted unit price and discounted sales amount. I type equal to unit price times 1 minus, I select the discount rate and I press F4 on the cell reference B36 to make it fixed. I press enter. To calculate the discounted sales amount, I also type equal to, I select the sales amount times 1 minus the discount rate, and I make B36 a fixed value, a fixed cell reference, and I press enter. To fill the discounted unit price and discounted sales amount formula, I can double click on the plus sign in the bottom right corner of the cell. If I double click, I can see that the formula is filled for the entire range of the table. I can do the same for discounted sales amount, so I double click on the plus sign and all the values are calculated. I can also do this even more quickly by selecting both the unit price and sales amount discounted formula and then double clicking on the plus sign, and as you see, both ranges are now filled at once. And as you can see, cell B36 stays fixed and the sales amount and unit price cell reference is variable. Suppose that you only want the column to be fixed, then you can add a $sign next to the column and you don't add a $sign next to the row. Suppose you want the row to stay fixed, not the column, then you can add a $sign next to the row and do not add a $sign next to the column.